So, now that the latest No Man's Sky update, Interceptor, has been out for just over a week, I thought I'd do a short review of it, which is actually the first time I've ever done a review of a single update in the game. And so, in the past, No Man's Sky updates, mainly in the last year or two, and especially the Waypoint update, since it nerfed the values of a bunch of resources and redid the inventory layout, which some thinks is better but some think it's worse, the players, myself included, have had a pretty mixed opinions of the updates. Some of them good and some of them bad, but overall, the No Man's Sky community have been fairly critical of them recently. That is, however, until the Interceptor update. Now, there are a few reasons for that, so let's get stuck into them. So the first one, and perhaps the most important, is the introduction of a whole bunch of new Sentinel starships. Now, we've had new starships recently, namely the solar starships, but the Sentinel ones are even better, if I'm being completely honest. These ships come in a whole bunch of different shapes and sizes, and they've also given us a brand new cockpit, and the animations on them look pretty great as well. I've said in my recent speculation video that we needed more starships in the game because before the Interceptors, the variety wasn't too great, and a lot of them did look rather boring. So it appears Hello Games have taken the community's voices on board and have gone above and beyond with these new ships. They've also added a bunch of resources to go with them as well, which is a nice little addition on top. I'm sure the ship hunters of No Man's Sky must be absolutely over the moon with the Interceptor update because it adds a whole new dimension to ship hunting, which is ideal for them. Hell, even I've been ship hunting since this update and it's not something I used to do. If you also head on over to the No Man's Sky Coordinate Exchange Reddit, it is currently being bombarded with new Sentinel ship discoveries, which probably also explains why almost every single other No Man's Sky content creator is creating videos showcasing these discoveries. Overall though, I think the new Sentinel ships are a fantastic addition to the game as they promise to be the most varied starships to date, and I'd certainly agree with that so far. Moving on, the next great thing about the Interceptor update is the addition of the corrupted planets, and with them, brand new Sentinel threats, which in some aspects feels like an extension of the Sentinel update that came out last year. Could you imagine the reception it got if this update was bundled with a Sentinel update? Anyway, we now have new enemy types with spider-like sentinels, their crab-like children, along with corrupted drones and sentinels which dig into the ground on planets and who go by the name of Dissonance Resonators. These new sentinels are probably the most dangerous yet and come armed with new advanced weapons such as stealth technology, flamethrowers and explosive weapons. So if you've ever had a fight with them and you haven't upgraded your multi-tool weapons and your shield, you're in for a bit of a struggle. And even if you're not on a corrupted planet, you'll find Sentinels harder to destroy as Sentinel quads, or as I call them, Sentinel dogs, have also been upgraded in a similar fashion as well, so on-planet combat has yet had another boost. And going back to corrupted planets, these brand new planet types are all covered in purple crystals that are pushing out the ground, and you can find a whole host of new resources on them, along with some new abandoned camps, where you can find multi-tools and the blueprints to the brand new jetpack. More on that in just a second. These corrupted planets are more deadly to explore, but they do also come with more rewards as well. Personally, I love these new corrupted worlds as it really adds a new dimension to planets throughout No Man's Sky and finally adds a new unique world type, something I've been longing for in the game. There is still a way to go to making planets more unique, but this update is a big step in the right direction. So, if you prefer in-space combat rather than on-planet combat, we can finally now fully destroy a Sentinel freighter, which is pretty damn cool if you ask me. Sadly, I don't actually have any footage of this yet, but I'll definitely be adding it into future videos when I eventually come across a freighter I am able to help fully destroy. And obviously in the past we've been able to stumble upon crash freighters on planets, but we've never been able to send them to their doom until now. I think this is a really cool addition to space combat with the game, and it will certainly please a bunch of players who really enjoy the combat side of No Man's Sky, especially the space dogfights. So, as I mentioned, another great feature of the Interceptor update is that we're also now able to get our hands on a brand new jetpack, which is awesome and something I'd again been longing for since we got the Royal Jetpack as an Expedition Award just the other year. These new jetpacks look like they've got wings, and you'd be surprised how easy it is to actually get your hands on them. If you haven't seen it already, earlier this week I released a video showing you exactly how to get one. It will literally take you no time at all, so it's definitely worth watching that video after this one. I'll leave a link to the video in the description below for you. I've been saying for a while we need a wider variety of jetpacks into the game, and adding this one certainly helps with that. I do think Hello Games should add more as well in future updates, but again, this is a great step in the right direction if you ask me, so I'm very happy with this new jetpack style. And it goes by the name of the Aeron Turbojet, which is pretty cool as well. Now, I don't personally have a VR headset myself, but from what I've heard on Reddit and by watching other No Man's Sky content creators on YouTube and their videos, the new PSVR updates with part of the Interceptor update are a nice touch as well. So I think it's safe to say those have been a good addition. Maybe one day I'll get a VR headset because No Man's Sky looks like the perfect game to experience virtual reality in. And if you're watching this and you do have a VR headset, let me know what you think of the latest Interceptor update in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So this update sounds pretty damn good, right? Well, with all that being said, however, this update isn't perfect. Though, from what I've experienced so far and what I've read elsewhere, it's not really anything to do with the main content of the update that No Man's Sky players are complaining about. Instead, it is, once again, the bugs that have come with it. Now, I've seen a few comments on my videos and the community posts about this update that is causing some people's game to crash completely and make it unplayable. Now, I've actually had my game crash on me as well. In the initial loading screen, when you're flying through the galaxy before you resume where you were, it just hung there for ages. I had to restart the game, but then it worked after that. And I've yet to have any more bugs, but for some people it has apparently become unplayable, and that is obviously a major issue. I don't see how Hello Games can release these updates, yet every time there are a bunch of bugs that come with them. Surely they're testing these updates thoroughly on every system the game is available on before releasing it to the public, and if they're not, they definitely should be. Captain Steve also did a review video recently about the Interceptor update and mentioned that he came across another bug where, if you're in one of the new Sentinel ships and you're fighting against Sentinel Interceptors in space, after recharging your shield or something else, the Sentinel Interceptors become invincible and don't take any damage, which is hardly ideal. So, even though these releases come with bugs, credit where credit is due, as Hello Games usually fix them pretty sharpish, and I bet by the time this video even goes live, the bugs that I've previously mentioned will have been sorted out. I just wish they'd thoroughly test the updates before releasing them to the players so it doesn't come with bugs. Not too much to ask, is it? So overall, the Interceptor update has added a plethora of new things to No Man's Sky, and all of them good, and I personally think it's one of the best updates we've seen in at least the last 18 months or so. I think if I were to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10, and if it wasn't for the bugs that came with it, some of which I've experienced myself, I would certainly be rating it just a bit higher as well, so hopefully those all get fixed as a matter of priority. What do you guys think of the Interceptor update? Are you a fan? Let me know in the comments below, it would be great to hear your thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you're enjoying playing the latest version of No Man's Sky just as much as I am, minus of course the bugs. And if you're still here, it would be totally awesome if you could take a couple of seconds to support my YouTube channel by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.